You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Center, this is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share facts.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is We'll do it live! Time goes in, time goes out. Never miscommunication.
It's over 9,000! My name is Foxy.
The balls are in there. Do a barrel roll. Don't save me, bro. It's a trap. I'm a firing believer. Time to do. Hey, Charlie, wake up. Oh, God, oh, man.
Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Phoenix, to Nerd to Know Basis on Phoenix 92.5 FM. This is episode 153, and I am Kev. As always, we have Dara and Cian. How are we doing, boys?
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Cian is making tea, so he will jump back in when he's not
Cian
there.
is making tea.
There he is.
We're pivoting into an ASMR channel. So you're going to want to turn your stereos up really loud.
So I'm going to give an ahoy for Cian as well.
Ahoy, hoy.
There you go.
Ahoy,
See?
But how are we doing this week, Dara?
I don't know. I mean, it was really warm for most of it, and I don't really recall most of it because I would just, I didn't wear a shirt for like 3 days.
And that's different than normal.
Because it wasn't by choice. It was
fair.
So we got a heat wave, and there's no air conditioning in Ireland for our listeners who aren't in Phoenix. Oh, actually, Phoenix and Arizona, yeah, like guys there, yeah, you have air conditioning. We don't.
Oh yeah, we get big plays in Phoenix, Arizona.
We don't know.
We might.
But on Phoenix FM, everyone obviously knows that in Ireland we don't have air conditioning, so we got a heat wave, and it was so bad that I moved the rug and I had to lie down.
Yeah, no, I actively wanted to spend more time in work because work is where the air conditioning is, and not where my super insulated apartment is.
Oh no,
where it's frankly too warm in winter.
I mean, I was I sat in my room with like the windows closed and everything like pulled. And I was like, grand. And I went outside. I'm like, oh my God, how is it warmer out here?
It's like getting hit with a bowl of soup. It's
horrible.
It's
horrible.
It's so thick. So in an effort to avoid the heat, I took a trip outside into the deathscape, and finally caught Thor: Love and Thunder. Which, side note, completely unrelated, cinema I went to. I got to the cinema hoping that there was air conditioning, praying, fingers crossed. There was, but as we went to like it was one of the underground screens. There was a door on the screen that said, "We're sorry for the low temperatures. We're looking at getting that fixed." And both me and my partner looked at each other and were like, "No, don't fix that. That's good. We can do that.
Don't make it hotter. No,
could have been lower.
Yeah,
temperature.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm not going to belay the point too much because we spent quite a while last week talking about it, but thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like particularly Natalie Portman and Christian Bale. Gore may be one of the better villains the MCU canon because they spent the time with them. Like that cold open of just him and his daughter set more groundwork than half of the baddies in this franchise have gotten.
I actually saw it again today.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But even then, the two things it was that cold open and the sequence of him talking to the kids, because that one showed character, where you have this man laughing and just slowly unraveling, and it's just that inch more depth that makes him far more interesting than let's pull a name out of the hat. We have Ronan.
Oh God, he was in 2 movies.
Wait, what?
He failed twice.
What was the second one?
So he was in Captain Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy.
He was in Captain Marvel?
Yeah, he came back briefly.
I don't remember that.
Wait, no,
there.
sorry, he wasn't in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in.
He was Guardians. No, he was Guardians of the Galaxy.
And he was in Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Damn, hey.
Yeah, he was just showed up with the Armada to bomb the planet.
Yeah.
And like he said, I will return, and he never does.
But he did. No, hold on. Technically, he did return, but
not to Earth.
No, not yet. He will though.
No, he's dead.
He's busy.
Busy being dead.
No, listen. Hold on a second. That doesn't matter. Loki's died 4 times.
Loki isn't Ronin.
I don't know. I don't put any stake in who dies in.
I got nothing against Ronin. I'd love to cosplay him someday. He's got an awesome costume.
Just let's just all dress as Ronin. It's make a big Blue Man group out of this.
Oh, lovely. All the percussion. Those hammers. But anyway, yes, I was slightly earwigging what you're saying, and I do get what you mean about the nature of the villain, and kind of I really like the way they kind of meshed in his journey with like the theme of the film.
Yeah.
About gods not really being up to scratch, and kind of contrasting that with the way children view fairy tales and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it'd be really rewarding to watch on a second viewing, you know?
And like
and you know what? Here's the thing.
Sorry, Dara, because that's not like it's even like there's so many different parallels Gore kind of brings, which the one that struck me, and like the movie outright says it, is the parallel with him and Mighty Thor with Jane, where both of them are actively wielding weapons that are just draining their life. Yeah. And just how the two sides of that are working.
And it was funny because I was actually I went to go see it again because I you know when you see a movie first time, and there's things that you're not really looking out for. And specifically I wanted to kind of catch 1 or 2 things. And from that, I think that opening sequence really does so much more than any other opening sequence in the MCU. Probably with the exception of Iron Man. The opening to Iron Man that really just kind of sums up the character so well. But even that
opening wasn't a challenging opening. Like, this is a children's film.
No, but which, I mean, what I'm giving that is sums up a character.
Right. Okay.
Right. So succinctly. It's the first time they've really, the first time in a long time we've actually done that. But I was like, rewatching it, he actually gets a vision that actually sums out the entire movie. And on first viewing, I completely missed it.
Okay. Is it like a big spoiler thing for the audience? Or?
No. I mean, like, I like when I was watching the movie the first time, I'm like, geez, how do you know how to do all that? And then when you're watching it again, the sword actually tells him everything he needs to do.
Ah, I see.
And it's a very short sequence, but there's so much going on in that. It's stylistically awesome. Christian Bale's performance is fantastic. There's it's kind of like there's a movie called what's it? Jokoski, something Mountain, Crystal Mountain. I think it's called Crystal Mountain, and has loads of weird visuals. And there's a bit where he's in the oasis and he meets the god that eventually he would kill. And it's kind of like, oh wow, they really are pushing this out. And I mean, it was just so refreshing to have a movie that's so succinct, but also people are, I don't really know what movie people are watching this and it's bad. Because It is a very, very tight movie. All the jokes are set up. There's a lot now. To be fair, could 1 or 2 things have been elaborated on? Absolutely. But there is so much there that when you rewatch it, you're like, they really did set up everything. And all the jokes, they're not just 1 or 2 lines. They're actually set up throughout the whole movie, which is different to Ragnarok. I mean, one of the reasons there's many reasons I didn't like Ragnarok, but one of the biggest ones was that kind of joke a minute thing, rather like, you guys probably saw it, when Natalie Portman is saying these lame catchphrases.
Yeah.
The joke isn't the catchphrases are lame; it's that she can't come up with a catchphrase.
Yes, but like,
and then at the end, it's the big sweet moment. And I have to say, it has such a heart a beating heart that's there, and that's absent from 90% of the Marvel movies.
That's just it. And even like, I feel like the jokes, there's less of the jokes in this one, but they feel more earned because they come from character.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, like this whole catchphrase thing. The reason it doesn't work is because one, she is not a person, superhero or no, who does catchphrases. Two, she thinks superheroes have catchphrases because she isn't one. And three, she's trying to have a laugh against the backdrop of all this pain. So there's lots of layers to just someone saying it's Thorbin time or whatever it is. Like there's loads of levels.
I wish she said that. I wish she said that.
God damn it.
I wish she said that.
How have we not purged Morbius from our cultural consciousness yet?
So the best part of Morbius is when he turns back and looks to the camera and goes, "It's Morbin time."
Yeah, like, hey, Sony, listen. I know we did it twice. Have we considered a third?
Is there something to be said for another mass?
Is there something to be
the
said
last
for?
one went very well.
Is there something to be said for more Morbin time?
And to cut right through this, much like a mass, we here at Nerd to Know Media have missed public gatherings, and so just so we can get this out early, I think it is time that we announce that we will be appearing at Dublin City Comic Con, a mass of its own, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. I mean, we're going to try get Olivia or someone from the con on, but we're making our triumphant return, Keen, to the hallowed halls of the convention center.
Yes, we were discussing this before you arrived, Dara. It's become a ritual thing with the Nerd to Know channel that we go to conventions and I dress up in a big elaborate costume and you and Bryn turn up in t-shirts.
Okay.
And I look like a right mad
No,
idiot.
the reason that happens is because I usually write the panel an hour beforehand and have to get a taxi to the place.
Have you considered not doing that?
Yes, but I also know what happens. And I'm like, oh no, I've just woken up. It's 12 o'clock. I need to get there in an hour. So, I mean,
I know, but like, just for
Bryn has no excuse.
Who do not get the benefit of visuals.
Bryn has no excuse.
I was saying to Kev before we started, a panel with us looks like that Elton John meme where it's two people in the car and one of them's covered in giant pink feathers and the other's just looking at him in a black jacket. That is like our cover picture on our Facebook page.
I think that sums us up brilliantly, though.
Oh, that's exactly what I said. Considering that picture existed before I joined the network, that was like that picture of Kean dressed as Jodie Whittaker with Bryn and Dara in t-shirts is like says everything it needs to about this podcast without words.
It is wonderful. I mean, you know, I would say I'd like to make an effort, and I would, but then again, I wake up too late. I stay up all night the night before, and then I'm like, oh no, and then I have to run. And like even at JCon, I would have loved to have done something for JCon, but I was in a Starbucks writing the panel before we went on air. So
I'm just exceptionally lazy, and I have a Vegeta costume sitting in the top drawer of my wardrobe, but I have not tried that on in about 3 years. And I am very aware that does not fit me anymore.
I mean, hold on. Are we, Comic-Con is 2 weeks away?
Yes.
3 weeks away?
Yeah.
It'll be 2 weeks once this airs.
All right. So get your tickets now, everybody. Come and see us.
Yeah, I think like 80% of the tickets are gone.
They are. So that's what I'm
this
saying.
one's likely to sell out.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Our panel is very interactive. So, I mean, come and harass Bryn.
Yeah, would you like to tell everyone at home what to expect from our panel?
So we decided.
Would you like to tell me what to expect from our panel?
So we decided to go with the old favorite because it's been a while since we've done one of these. So we dusted off the critically acclaimed Literally Everything is Wrestling.
By which you mean we revamped and reorganized and made it for the modern era.
Exactly.
It'll be totally exciting. And if you've seen it before, it'll be a brand new experience.
Oh, sweet. A PS5 remaster.
So, I mean, you know, our plan is to start doing more panels and to do live shows and stuff like that. But that's all in the pipeline. So just to kind of get us back in the groove of it, we're doing this one. So basically, you should, and I wouldn't mind, it's great this year because Over the Top Wrestling are actually going to be there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, it just fits. It just works.
Just in case people at home think we got a script out of a drawer covered in dust. No, we did pick this for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, we could have done something else, but I was just like, sure, look, the lads are going to be there. we might as well,
Yeah,
work
yeah,
with
of
it.
course. Synergy,
So-
like.
Exactly, synergy and promotion and cross.
God help us if they schedule us opposite them.
SEO.
Yeah,
et
and
cetera.
if we could just get a bunch of Irish wrestlers to just start yelling at us in the convention center,
Even
really,
better.
that just
Well,
seems
that's our
like a
plan.
dream.
We're going to go first. They're going to be on first, hopefully. We'll heckle them. Hopefully, they will return in kind.
And
it'll be sort
then
of
put
team
Dara
powered
through a
event.
chair.
A wrestling universe.
Through a table would be
crossover.
better, to be fair. Table would
that's wrestling, right? That's how
wrestling.
that works.
That's wrestling. Yeah, a table, please, not a chair. I don't want to be crippled. But
Man,
no.
you got to start writing these notes down for me.
I know, right? I mean, I could show you someone go through a chair. It's not fun. But no, I mean, basically what you guys can expect is it's a live interactive panel. So we kind of give a bit of a rundown of like the history of professional wrestling and then what it is. And then the goal is to try and get everything back to wrestling and explain it in such a way.
Which you do succeed at.
Well, that's because literally everything is wrestling.
Yeah.
That's the plan. So I mean, we it's myself and Bryn who mainly take the wrestling things. So obviously we have that knowledge, and then you guys will be playing the straight man who
I sit there with my jaw hitting the floor.
Exactly.
Which, like, I gotta say, it's a hard role for me to play.
But it will be fun. It went down a treat. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's on our YouTube channel, so you can see the one from 3 years ago now. Whoa, 3 years ago now.
Lockdown, yeah.
And and I mean, then we're looking to do more. But this is our first time kind of doing a panel since COVID. So do show up, have a good time. It'll be a good crack, and we'll have like stuff to give away as well. So show up.
Yeah, and like it's worth kind of pointing out, just it's not just shameless self-promotion for us. We are like, myself and my wife to be are like big kind of Comic Con goers. We do love the con circuit.
Yes.
We talked about it on the show before.
We do.
I'll go to Kev and then Dara. So Kev, what are you most excited about for the return of cons in general and for this convention in particular?
Honestly, kind of just going because I was never a big con head. Like I've been to maybe 3 but in my life. Just never like, well, actually, no. The real reason is that I spent the better part of about 8 years straight working weekends. So never had a chance.
That would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
So got that put that in the bin over COVID. So I have weekends now. So this is the first time I have a weekend. And I'm like, oh, I can actually go do this cool thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do this cool thing. So kind of just going is probably the most exciting part, honestly.
Awesome. And same question for you, Dara.
I mean, it's weird. It's funny you mentioned it, Kev. Like I did cons wrong for ages. I didn't realize there were panels. I didn't realize there were guests. I just like to go and be around the whole thing.
Kind of just explore the shops and stuff, which is a worthwhile experience in and of itself.
But that's the thing. And I would say for anyone who has never been, that's a good kind of introduction to it. And then you can go up and do the other stuff. I think once you figure out, wait, there's panels and they're free. Wait, there's people there. I mean, it's kind of like an ongoing experience where you do it and then you become seasoned to it. Like, look, I love conventions. I think they're great. I got COVID at convention. So, I mean, that's how much I like them. But, I mean, the thing about it is you get to meet some very interesting people. You get to meet like-minded people. But you also get to... It's an experience like unlike anything else. It really is.
I suppose while we're kind of reminiscing, as I said, I haven't been to many, but my favorite con story I think I have was JCon. I think it was that
JCon is great. Yeah.
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
And it was that I went specifically. I managed to wrangle that day off because Super Eye Patch Wolf, I think it was one of his first panels. Since he got big on YouTube. So I'll go see that. That'd be awesome. And his panel was great. He previewed a video, did a Q&A, really cool, really solid panel. Great. Awesome. Did that. For some reason, that was booked at 10 in the morning.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was first thing on the bat. So me and my partner, we left that, fine, grand, get some lunch, go. But, went around the artist alley and kind of started mingling with that. And the way I was processing that artist alley was very much not even looking at the people in the stalls, looking down at the tables.
Yeah.
And looking down, seeing like, that's really cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. And I came across this one table which had like really, really sick, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure art and Metal Gear Solid art and all the stuff that appeals to me. I was like, wow, that's awesome. And I look up, and who's standing behind the table? The Super Eye Patch Wolf. Turns out he's also an illustrator.
But see,
like, you could just see just my face just contort.
But see, that's the thing. You don't get to have that anywhere else. That's a uniquely con experience. You know, I mean, personally, I'm really looking forward to meeting Dan Fogler.
Actually, that's a good opportunity to you finish what you're saying, but I think we'll just run through the guests next once you're done saying this now.
Now, what's annoying about this is they portray him from that terrible movie series.
Yeah.
They don't pick his most famous role, and the only reason why I want to meet him because he was in Fanboys.
What's that?
Fanboys. I don't think he.
The movie about the guys going to see Star Trek before.
No, going to see Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry, cardinal sin.
It is a cardinal sin.
Listen. Hey, in my defense, to pull my one card, COVID break.
Fair. But what I will say, like, it's basically it's one of the best movies ever. I personally really, really enjoy it. It's based in 1999 before Episode 1 comes out. And it's about a group of friends who love Star Wars, like think me, but like unhinged. And
I'll make that leap.
But
Star Wars super fans,
like super fans, and basically one of their friends died of cancer or leukemia. I can't remember what one it is, and they want to go to break into Lucas Ranch to see Episode 1 before he dies. And basically, Dan Fogler plays. Like, his role's hilarious. They end up going to Iowa to make fun of a bunch of Trekkies, and it's hilarious.
It's got I won't spoil it. Go watch the movie. It's absolutely so stellar. It has just one of the funniest like cold line closers in a movie I've seen in so long.
Yeah. The end of it is like,
there's one line that just drops it, credits it, and I am on the floor every single time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the whole, like, it's filled with Star Wars jokes, and then there's like stuff that's in real life and also not. But I mean, when I saw him there, I was like, oh man, well, I have to totally like meet him and get him to sign Fanboys but then I saw they promote everything else he's in except for that movie, and I'm like, this is the best thing he was in. Not that garbage wizard garbage that I was going to swear, but I can't swear. I hate that wizard stuff. I really do.
The turf propaganda. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, in a weird way, he gets to be the best thing in it, though.
This is true. He is the best thing in it. But his
chemistry with Eddie Redmayne is delightful.
But Fanboys is such a good. Actually, Keane, I don't know if you'd appreciate it or not. Stevie might, but you'd probably be hurt because they go in at the Trekkers really badly. Or Trekkies, because apparently
I can take a joke.
Trekkers is the one,
unless they
right?
make fun of like a family picture of me from 1997 or something. Generally, I can roll with the punches.
No, like, I mean, when they show up and start making fun of people beside the Captain Kirk statue, or no, not Captain Kirk. Which one is the? Yeah, it is Kirk.
I think it's Kirk. Yeah, Captain Kirk. I think as far as I remember, the Trekkies in it are very hardcore. 60s
yeah, they're very
Trekkies.
hardcore. Yeah. So I mean, that's the joke. Like, there's hardcore Star Wars and hardcore Trekkies. It's so funny. But no, I would recommend it, and I want to get to sign my copy of the DVD. So I mean, that's a highlight for me. And if you could interview him, that'd be even cooler.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
The one that jumps immediately out to me is the fact that Charles Martinet is going to be there.
Yes, my daughter. This is the voice of Mario and Luigi and all that. My daughter's very excited to meet him.
Like, he's just a legacy. Like, it's the voice of Mario, but like this guy's been doing it for 30-ish years. Like, it's a me. Mario.
I bet, because it's worth pointing out. I'm not sure if we pointed out in the show before. The actual panel events they do are free.
Yes.
Most places in the world they aren't.
Really?
So yeah. If you try to go to like Scotland Comic Con, London Comic Con, you pay into the panels. You know.
No way. That's so lame. Yeah.
So it's worth appreciating. For this, because it may not last forever, especially if like the numbers go up for
actually Comic-Con, can I say one thing real quick? So because it's a Comic-Con, Scott Snyder's there, right? Scott Snyder is one of the nicest guys in the world.
Oh, yeah?
He's one of the best Batman writers in the world, and I've met him like 6 times. I have like personalized comics and everything from him. Go see him. Go meet him. He has written the best Batman books ever. I don't care. At me if you want, but it's true.
I'm glad you point that out, actually, because it's always something that kind of breaks my heart a bit. It's a Comic Con,
Yeah,
and you will always see comic book artists
just
and
sitting
writers
there.
just sitting there while everyone queues up to meet, like, I don't know, an actor from Scrubs or something. You know,
Well, I wouldn't mind.
it doesn't seem just, you know.
No, I mean it's like when Dice was the thing, when Big Bang used to run Dice, which was great because that was a real Comic Con. That was just about comics. There was nothing else, just comics. So I got to meet Scott a bunch of times. I actually was in San Francisco. I was in a comic book shop there, and I was just flicking through one of the trade paperbacks, and like all of them are signed as well. So I was like, oh, and they're like, yeah, Scott always comes in. I'm like, oh, what a legend. So he is super nice. And if you're listening to this show and you're in Ireland, go meet Scott Snyder. Tell him we sent them over. Buy his books. I mean, Court of Owls, Hero.
Oh, that's him. Well, even I've heard of that, and I'm not.
Actually, no. You know, now that I see it, I like that whole like stretch of Batman comics. I think I read like I don't read comics, but I read those like 10 trades with that and Bloom. All stellar. Like,
but I mean, his partnership with Jock, right, the artist, that is like modern Batman. That's like the Joker when he takes his face off and all that stuff. I mean,
chilling,
iconic stuff, and he wrote that. And I mean, even if you're not a comic book fan, I guarantee you they're going to be movies soon. So go meet them, get your stuff signed.
Oh, I know they're plugging Court of Owls into that Gotham Knights game.
They absolutely are. Yeah,
that's the big one. But they'll show up if Robert Pattinson's don't get to it, somebody will.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to say it. Look, because we don't mention comic book creators enough. It's a Comic Con. Go meet Scott. He's a genuinely nice guy.
Can I actually I'm after spotting something. Dara, can I poke your brain on Star Wars lore?
Always.
Charles Martinet apparently is in Star Wars Jedi Knight.
Really?
I haven't dug into it, but that's one of the links listed on like his profile on Comic-Con.
Oh, I can see it there. Yeah, hold on a second.
Because I do know, like, he lists Skyrim because I do know he's the voice of
it's me, Darth Revan.
Parnaxus. He's the voice.
It's me, Darth Revan. Oh my god! All right, here's what's happening. Right, when you meet him, you get him to say that, and we put it as our like opener of the show.
You know what? I'm going to be turning up with 2 sets of families. Mine dressed as Sonic, Tails, and Eggman. My cousin's dressed as Mario and Luigi. I think the man's brain is going to be overloaded. But if I have time, I'll ask.
Oh my god, we have to get that recorded in some way.
Just ask him to at a panel. That's why I was saying go to the panel, because you could just ask him things. And if he's a voice artist, I'd say he'll probably say it within reason, you know?
So here's the thing, right? He is in it, but he's not main characters. Apparently he's a Bespin cop, a civilian male, an Imperial officer, a rebel shock trooper 3.
Damn, those Bespins, they died for that info. And they sounded great doing it.
You're thinking of not Bespins, you're thinking of Bottons.
God,
I am the ones who live in the Cloud City.
Yeah. I am off my game today, guys.
I don't know. I mean, you've already used that card once, man.
To save Kev's space, I'm going to run through some of the other guests who are going to be there. I'm very excited to see Felicia Day because she's basically nerd royalty at this point. I'm going to ask her to sign my book. We've also got Peter Weller, who. Certain members of my family, you know, RoboCop, all that kind of stuff. We've been trying to meet him since because he was a guest at the 2021 that got cancelled.
Man,
so we've been trying to get him back for ages. They just announced that this week. You want to talk about like hilarious films that no one ever talks about? Buckaroo Banzai, like, you know, the movie with him and Jeff Goldblum, where him and a bunch of space Rastafarians save the universe dressed like cowboys, like classic stuff.
Why not?
Why not? I would recommend it. You'll probably find it on YouTube. But the other guests now, we've got, I hope I pronounce this right, Michael Murphy, who's from, you know, Red Dead 2, all that kind of stuff. Dominique, oh my God, all these names. I can't throw stones.
Queen Maeve from The Boys.
Queen Maeve, yes.
So
from The Boys.
Also excited to meet her.
We've got some actors like George St. Pierre, who is Batroc from the MCU.
He's also the UFC Hall of Famer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Craig Parker, who I would love to meet because he's a Haldir from Lord of the Rings, he's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all that kind of stuff. Loads of really good comic create. Oh, sorry, this one. Nick Tarabay, who I know.
Oh, he's in The Expanse, actually. He's great. Yeah.
We've got like artists like Brian Azzarello. We've got Sean Isaacs, like Stephen Mooney, Barry Devlin. I know these names will mean things to Dara.
I'm just like, I love the way you just go over Brian Azzarello as if you don't know who he is. He is one of the biggest artists.
I can tell.
Batman artists in the world.
I haven't read a comic since like the Civil War. And I'm not talking the American Civil War. Like
damn, like you had 1916. Ours is pretty rough. The comics then were great though.
Well, the Civil War was 1922.
God, John. You need to go to
Kev,
bed.
come on.
Hey. But what I'm saying is, anyway, there's a great lineup.
It is.
Like, you know,
phenomenal.
Like, don't get me wrong, the March was great. Meeting Kevin McNally was a joy. Like, you know, on my last one, and there were so many wonderful people there.
I really enjoyed
this. So with this lineup, it feels like kind of
it's back.
Everything's now kind of back to normal, and in fact, slightly bigger. You know.
So I just want to say one thing. I really enjoyed that panel. I really enjoyed Keen's questions. I actually have that recorded, so I'm going to put that panel up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
As a bonus on our SoundCloud, on our Spotify. So if you aren't subscribed, I've redone. We have our website's redone, and it's kind of a link tree now. So if you go to nerdtoknowmedia.com, right, it's going to pop up a link tree. Everything is there: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud. Everything, it's all there. Like all of it, you can contact us, and if you do subscribe, again, it's free. We're not charging you anything. I mean, we like money, but we're not charging you anything. You are going to get all these shows. So I'm going to put that up, and I mean, like, I had a great time. I didn't really know who this guy was, and then through the panel, through what Olivia was doing on the show, on the stage with him, and then your questions, I was like, oh man, this lad, he's in loads of things.
But you've highlighted something very important there, which is it's lovely to just go to panels and discover people. Like, you know, I've been to see actors from like Charmed and Angel, and I've never seen them, but like they've such interesting lives, and like, you know, be it because they're great speakers or the moderators are great, you kind of go on a journey with them, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, but that's part of the fun of this, and you don't get that anywhere else. I mean, look, it also has like, there's the cosplayers who are always great. I mean, one of the funnest things ever is when you show up in the morning and then you're walking past the Centra or the Spar, and like Sailor Moon walks by, followed by like your man Light from Death Note, followed by
it happens very gradually. Yes,
it's hilarious.
Walking from O'Connell Street and there's nothing, and like you say, at the shop you'll see like one stormtrooper, and then all of a sudden you'll see, like you say, 4 Sailor Moons, or like
seeing the jaded parade of fake Go cosplayers having a cigarette on the keys. It's just like liminal moments.
That's a big one.
But another thing as well, I mean, there's the sets that are always great. Fair play to the work that's put in there. A bunch of props. Traders Hall, there's a bunch of gaming, like tabletop stuff. There's Gundams, which is always fun. Apparently there's going to be an escape room, virtual reality.
Ooh, I love that.
But also as well, one thing they've started to do, they started to get like indie game developers as well. So if you're into video games, there's lads who make games. So I mean, it's a good way to just kind of meet people, and we're going to be there as well. We're going
it's worth actually for all our excitement of big celebrities. There are lots of like smaller panels from individual artists at Geek Ireland, from like aspiring other podcasters and artists and all that kind of stuff. So it rewards exploring, and that applies to the I can't think of the correct word, but the sellers on the first floor. Where you can get all the like
Trader Hall,
and like you can get original commissioned fan arts done on the second. I'm also a big advocate for the costume competition. You can go see it or join in. There's no gatekeeping in regards to the cosplay stuff. I've never bumped into anyone who said like your costume's rubbish, whatever. I brought my entire family up on the last cosplay competition. We didn't win, but like the reception we got for our Bad Batch group, like, you know, was lovely. They treated our 3-year-old really well. Like, you know, it's a very, for a big event, I would describe it as being very wholesome, if you know what I mean.
It is. No, like it is. And I mean, there genuinely is something there for everybody, right? And I mean, you know, we've been lucky enough that they've always supported us. We've always had a great relationship with them. But I mean, it's always a good time. You know, it's always a good time, and it's great. Like again, last time we didn't get to be there because, you know, they pulled it together in like 3 weeks. You know, so we were like, oh, is it going to happen? Oh, it's happening. All right, grand. Sure, we went, had a good time. This time it feels more like the real Comic Con now is back. But again, if you think back, there was only one, and the spring one was the anime one, and then they made it bi-yearly.
That's
you know,
true. Yeah.
So, I mean, summer's always the big one.
I kind of like that about it though, because the spring one is for the ones who do this as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the summer one is for families. And I do like that Comic-Con. I've heard people complain about it, but I do like that the Dublin Comic Con is now being geared more towards young families and less about very specific subgenres of nerdy type things. Like the quiet rooms are great for that thing. I love that I'm able to bring my niece and nephew, who are like, you know, one of them's 5, and trust that he'll have a good time, you know?
Yeah, like the thing about it is like there are smaller cons, and we will go to them again. If you guys are listening and you want to book us for a con, if you go to nerdtoknowmedia.com, we would love to do it for panels, right? Absolutely, that's no problem. We will go to them as well when we're made aware. There's so many cons, so it's kind of hard to keep track as well. So we're going to try go out and do more. Actually, funny story, I've actually upgraded all of our tech, so we'll have like enough to actually be able to do stuff when we're there. But I mean, compared to J-Con or compared to Kazuku-Con or any of the smaller ones, this one is like the most accessible because there's something for everybody. I mean, personally, I love the small anime ones because it's a totally different experience, but I wouldn't take someone who's never been to one of these before into an anime convention.
Yeah.
I mean, the anime community is a bit of a swampy mire of
and look, it's a lot, you know, it's so full on compared to this, where I mean, like, if you're genuinely not into comics or nerd stuff, you've probably seen some of the movies. You might just like the American food, you know, it might just be something similar as that, right? But for me, and I always think it's really funny, like, you'll always find me over at the comics because it's the quietest place. Nobody's ever at the comics. That's where I spend most of the time, is looking for comics. So I mean, look, if you're in the area, or if you're not even, come up. It's going to be a great time. Again, you will see Keane, because Keane and his family always have the best cosplays. You'll see me and Bryn going, oh, we didn't bother cosplaying, sorry, man.
Yeah, the preview is I'm going to be the Jim Carrey Dr. Eggman, and my daughter, my 3-year-old, will be Sonic the Hedgehog, and my fiance, who will be my wife by that point, will be Tails, and we will probably be making absolute fools of ourselves running around the place. My in-laws could also possibly be there as Mario and Luigi. You'll see us coming, basically.
You will. And what we will announce when our panel is the day. We don't know yet. All we know is it's been confirmed. So we'll let you guys know when our panel is. Follow the social media. It's the best way to do it. We'll plug it again next week. We're trying to get someone on from DCC maybe next week.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And yeah, and I mean
that's the plan. The plan. Yes, we've been organizing this for months.
Yes,
but
definitely.
I mean, I have.
Yes, no,
I have. I just, you know, forget sometimes and then remember and panic. Like the way I write panels.
And suddenly you're in a Starbucks and you have to get to Dublin Comic Con.
No, the worst part was when I was in the Starbucks on O'Connell Street and I had to get to Croke Park. That was a challenge.
Ah. Oh, yeah. Yes, that was a nightmare.
That was a nightmare. And you're like, where are you there? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that is the nice thing. Now, I mean, the queues for Dublin Comic Con are a bit annoying. I know one year I was talking to one of the thankless volunteers who worked there, who said that they expected 5,000 over the weekend, and 5,000 all turned up in the morning.
Yeah.
But by and large, it's not like
one thing to mention as well, Keane.
Yeah.
There's no tickets at the door.
Yes.
They're not selling tickets at the door.
Yeah. But I personally like the long walk, because you're in a bloody walk with Thor and like Power Rangers and all that kind of stuff, and you're seeing the kind of people who turn up, and it kind of builds up the anticipation, you know?
Yeah. I mean, look, the thing about it is, well, like, if you're thinking about going, just go, but buy your tickets in advance, because they won't have them on the day. So don't be disappointed. I mean, that's kind of the way it is. But by buying your tickets in advance, you're also supporting this and making sure it happens.
Yeah.
Look, I know a lot of the organizers as well who actually run it. And I mean, to rent a convention center is not cheap.
No.
It's not cheap. So, I mean, the more we support this, the more it keeps happening. It is what it is. But it's a great day. It's going to be good crack. 2 days, actually, great weekend. I usually go Saturday, but I mean, Sunday's always good as well.
Well, it's because having gone to these a few times now, in a weird way, the Sunday is a lot of the bigger guests first, and then the cosplay competition in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, if you want to sort of do all those things, like meet the comic creators, shop a bit, do all that kind of stuff, you kind of have to go on the Saturday or miss the stuff on the Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of geared towards a weekend visit.
Yeah, like it genuinely depends what you want to do. And my advice would be if you're going just for the shopping, it doesn't really matter. I would say go Sunday when it's quieter. But if you're looking for the guests a lot are going to be on Saturday, I mean, again, I don't know what day our panel's on. So that kind of dictates when we're going.
Knowing our luck, probably Sunday opposite the cosplay competition, at which point I'm going to be running back and forth a fair bit.
Maybe. I mean, look, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But Cian, you're Eggman. You're the one that doesn't run.
True. That's true. You just need to build them.
Gotta go moderately fast.
Does have a little pod.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, look, it's good crack. We'll see what the story is. We'll be there. So yeah, come hang out. Like genuinely, come hang out. It's gonna be good crack.
Yes, for my money, you can always find me buying random Marvel Lego figures I do not need nor have room to put them anywhere. But they're there, and I don't have to buy a 30 quid set to get one of Thor's friends. So you'll find me there. Fair.
Another thing as well, real quick, actually, speaking of Power Rangers, so I got something cool during the week. So the Power Ranger Megazords. No, did you guys watch Power Rangers as kids?
Oh God, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to because my parents said it was too violent.
Well, they're not wrrong.
Yeah, it was incredibly violent. I got a real hankering to watch the Power Rangers movie there a couple of weeks ago and started before falling asleep.
Oh no.
I caught some good looking avenues before I dozed off, but
you know what's really good actually? The Sega Mega Drive, the Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie featuring Ivan Ooze. That game is banging.
Just act like
Ivan Ooze?
Great game.
Ivan Ooze was the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
That's his name. Yeah.
Oh, the names in Power Rangers are perfect. Like the primary antagonist is called Rita Repulsa, and she puts it up to 11 camp. It's excellent.
And then there's Lord Zed, who also puts it up to 11. I mean, so yeah, like they re-released. Like as a kid, I had all the Megazords right up to a point, and then a couple of years ago, I bought the Thunder Megazord and the White Ranger. The White Tiger Zord on adverts, right? I got the two of them for like 100 quid. I was like, grand. And then they re-released like all of them up to like Lost Galaxy. And I was like, oh. And the cool thing about it is the actual case looks like a VHS tape. So when you take it out, it's a VHS tape and then you turn it into the Megazord.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so I bought 5 of them. All the different ones. And they are the coolest thing ever. So I had to actually buy them all across 3 different places. So Zavi, which apparently is a place still, I didn't know that. That's Virgin Megastore or HMV. So I got one there. I got 2 in Big Bang Comics and 1 in Dublin City Comics. So over the course of 3 different places, I actually got the whole set. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. No, like they say like. Because I love me a good figurine. I've got a handful of like anime ones. But yeah, they're like, especially those sorts of like posable kind of like transformable ones. Yeah. Always sticks them and like some of the high quality Transformers figures are gold.
Well, the main difference here is obviously they're a lot smaller than the actual ones. Because I mean, the one I found the hardest to get was the Dino Megazord, and I had to get that in Dublin City Comics because that one sold out. That's the first one, right? But they're not
Dino Megazord.
Megazord. Catch up. Keep up.
So I mean,
that's a lot of big words that don't necessarily go together.
No, they don't. They don't. But
what? You don't think something should end in a Zord?
There's all
No, look,
Zords.
I'm not gatekeeping. I just literally don't understand it.
So, Keen, basically what happens is, right, when the Power Rangers get beaten or they're just about to lose,
Right.
whoever Rita or Lord Zed would throw the stick down and make their villain big, right?
Right.
So in order to fight the big villain, they have these things called Zords. And 5 of them have these individual swords that come together to form a Megazord.
Right, and that's
Right.
why you have to get all the toys to make.
And that
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, back in the day, they would be individual toys sold as a set. So you'd get the 5 toys and then put them together to make the Zord, right?
Right.
These ones are a lot smaller. They're like a third of the size. They're like they're really small, but they're cool, you know. And I'm just like, oh, these are great. And I just like, I have them on my desk here, and I can't move them because nowhere to put them. I'm like, I don't regret buying them at all, but I've nowhere to put them now.
Well, that's the Comic Con experience. You buy 15 really cool things, come home, realize you've nowhere to put them.
I was actually going to wait. I was actually going to wait until
put them up.
I was actually going to wait until Comic Con to get them. But
Okay.
I'm kind of glad I didn't because, as I said, I had to go to 3 different places to get the whole set. So, I mean, I made my choice.
And a good choice it was.
Kev, I believe so because I mean, you know, the look of joy in a child's eye is nothing compared to how happy I am.
The look of joy in Dara's eyes as he
The look of
as he
joy
takes
in a
he
child's
plucks
eye
his
as he
sword.
skips the queue to buy a Power Rangers instead of the child.
Exactly, and be like, sorry, child, this is mine now.
This is mine now. I am an adult and I have earned the money to buy this sword. You are a child and therefore stupid.
It's like, remember this child so you can grow up and do the same thing.
And also be incredibly bitter.
Oh my god. No, but seriously, like if we should actually like cover the Power Rangers properly. I know Linkara did a full run. Like
I would love that just because I wasn't allowed to watch it growing up. So I'd love to experience it for
right
the first time as a 31 and a bit year old.
We're
Well,
doing that.
let me tell
We're
you,
doing
if
that.
you want to watch the original like 1980, 90 X Power Rangers movie, it is on YouTube in sweet, crusty
What I
240p.
want is for you to explain it to me from the beginning and go through the whole thing
No, I mean, look,
and
the
take
movie,
me on a journey.
the movie doesn't mean anything unless you watch the first series at least.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Like the
The
Pokemon
first, I mean,
movies or something.
that attachment isn't there. But I mean,
Yeah.
the fourth, like it's okay. Keen, I'm gonna sell it. And I know we're running out of time, but I'm gonna quickly.
Oh no,
sell
we
it.
got 8 minutes. You
We
got
8
plenty.
minutes? Okay,
You got
I think
8
we
minutes.
actually
Right.
finished reviewing Thor, but sure, go on.
Keen, here we go. Right,
No, we did
So-
that last week. This week's Power Rangers.
exactly. So Keen, it's stock footage
Yep.
from a show in the 80s that's recut up with American actors, basically Saved by
Sorry.
the Bell.
stock Japanese footage from.
That actually is incredibly important.
yeah.
And I'll tell you why. So, stock Japanese footage of a show that was running for like 10 years at that point, right? Of lads in suits punching each other.
Doing sick, like truly good, like
Martial arts.
choreographed martial arts in like brightly colored jumpsuits.
I know how it was made. I watched how the Toys That Made Us thing on Netflix. But I'm talking the in-universe.
So
lore.
the in-universe lore basically is this supernatural being finds some teenagers to fight a space witch.
Ancient space.
ancient-
As chances go, it's not
space
bad.
like sincerely like dawn of time alien space witch who just starts the series by crawling out of a pod in a hole.
Dumpster.
Dumpster it was a dumpster. That's God, it's a good show.
I wouldn't mind. It is such a good show, and like I know it's all on. I think it's all on Netflix, but I have the whole series, and it's just a good watch. And I mean, there's no. And it has this big arc with the Green Ranger, where like it's a 5-episode arc, and I remember when that came out, it was like the most earth-shattering thing for
the
a
Green
5-year-old.
Ranger was at Comic Con a few years ago. Yeah,
He was. I actually came back from San Francisco on less than an hour sleep, went and met him, got everything signed, and then tried to go see Captain Marvel.
Yeah, what was he like?
So nice.
Huh?
So nice. It was one of the best experiences of my life.
Yes, I did hear a story where like they did the photo shoot thing and like the Green Power Rangers like images got corrupted. And your man came back and did them all again, like for free. And like, which is obviously Dublin Comic Con has to do it, but he didn't have to do it twice,
No.
you know? So it's lovely when you hear stories like
Well,
that.
he's a legit martial artist. That's the thing.
Ah.
He's not like, and that's the thing about the Power Ranger people, the actual American actors playing the Power Rangers. They were either super athletes or martial artists. So everything they do is legit. And you're like, whoa.
But
and
wait,
I mean,
why do they have to be if it's intercut with like Japanese?
because
footage?
they still have to do it. Like, I mean,
Why though? They're in costumes, like
not all the time.
like
Not all the
Tobey
time. And
Maguire
sometimes when
didn't
they're
have
hanging
to
out
do
teens,
any
you just want your.
Spider-Man.
But sometimes when they're hanging out teens, you want your teens just to look completely jacked while they're hanging out in the mall.
Sure, but that doesn't
They don't
mean they
hang
have
out
to
in the mall. They
actually
hang out with the
build
juice
it,
bar.
you know?
Was it a
That's
juice,
juice bar.
Was the juice bar not in the mall? Everything was in the mall in the 80s. Come
They
on.
never went to the mall. They just went to the juice bar. That was all they went to. They didn't even go to
Okay,
school that
so
much.
they beat a witch and they get juice at the mall. That's the show, is it?
While being heckled by two completely ineffective bullies.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
Who bullies a Power Ranger?
So, this is it. So they have bullies who, in themselves, would be bullied in real life.
Completely.
Completely bullied. So Bulk and Skull, Keen, you need to see the show. It's a wonder. Actually, those bullies are the longest serving part of the show. They're in it for 30 years. Yeah, they become cops and everything. Like it's
They're
hilarious.
still bullying?
Well, no, they're.
Well, I mean, they're cops now, so yeah.
Oh, it's funny. I mean,
Like, talk about discovering your niche early in life.
there you go. Look, as I said, and then the Green Ranger eventually gets a PhD and becomes a scientist, and then a Power Ranger scientist.
Okay, did I dream this up, or is the dad from Malcolm in the Middle in it?
He was.
Right.
He did the voices.
Of which?
Several villains.
Okay.
I
Bryan
never
Cranston,
knew
that's
that,
it.
actually.
Yeah.
I never knew Bryan Cranston was above Power Rangers.
He was.
This is in the early era when he was like just the dentist in Seinfeld. and stuff,
I think he was at least 4 villains.
Wow. Hey, listen, with mad respect, man's got to earn a paycheck.
But also,
Oh
just
my
shows
God,
his
I
range.
want like a chart from like whatever villain he played in Power Rangers to, is it Walter White?
Yeah.
Like, what a journey.
I just everything intersecting through how.
Dean, I just can't believe you haven't even seen any of this show.
I wasn't allowed.
But I mean, in the subsequent 25 years, that itch was never scratched.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if a parent blocker popped up now if I tried to watch it.
It's just you were told it's too violent, Keen. No.
But Mom, I'm 30.
I have my own children, Mom.
And I want them to
Oh
watch
yeah,
Power
your daughter's
Rangers.
allowed to watch it, not you.
them's the breaks, kid.
I wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that I'm marrying an actual martial artist. Is there some sort of subconscious, like...
I mean, you could watch it with her and then be like, Mom, it's fine. I have, supervision.
And then, like, the next day, I'd come over, I jumped off the couch in excitement and just say, you're right.
We'd like to announce that Cian will not be making it to Dublin Comic Con due to a leg injury after him thinking he was the Yellow Ranger.
Yes. He spotted a witch coming out of a well and ran at it with a jump
Dumpster.
kick.
I know what to do now. I've been trained.
Yeah, Power Rangers need to start like adding jackass like warnings at the start of every one of them.
It used to. When that came out, it was just like they would have warnings saying this is all done by professionals, etc., etc. So, I mean, again, I don't really remember. I remember it, but I also don't remember it. But I mean, as an adult, going back and watching that show, it up until like the 3rd season, it gets kind of a bit weird. It's a good time, and I would say if you haven't seen the Power Rangers, do, because we're totally going to watch a couple episodes of Power Rangers on the show. Have to.
I did fact check it. They are all on Netflix.
Oh, brilliant! So they are on now. There's no excuse, Ken,
There's no excuse.
unless there's a parental blocker.
I bet you there will be.
How are we doing for time, Kev?
About 2 minutes.
Cool. Right. So yeah, I'm going to plug real quick the website. Spent a fair amount of time getting it sorted, guys. So if this is your first time listening, 1, I'm sorry, and 2, go over and check out the website, nerdtoknowmedia.com. It's all there. All our social media. You can contact us. You can tweet us. Everything is there. It links to our actual website as well. Spotify. All the shows are free. Basically, it's all there. There's no excuse not to. The only thing that's stopping you from doing it is typing nerdtoknowmedia.com into your browser. So please do it. We'd love to hear from you. And buy a ticket for Comic Con.
Yeah. And by the way, if there are any like aspiring like podcasters or like artists out there who would just like to do a bit of promotion before DCC, Like, we have an open door policy. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, like, reach out to us, because certainly while I was running the Game Corner, we had people from the States, we had people from Europe, we had artists and students and all that kind of
You
stuff.
got my flatmate, Dave.
We got Dave, a demographic of his own. So yeah, if you enjoy the show and want to kind of phone in and like kind of do a little segment on it, be it as an artist wanting to express yourself, or maybe like just kind of because you want to try your hand at podcasting, give us a shout. We are not some sort of monolithic thing where we're fake and we don't let other people say. We love meeting new people.
Please do not try this at home. We are not professionals. And our stunts should not be replicated.
But no, like legitimately, if there is a case, you can just email us, shoot us a message on Instagram or Facebook. One of us will respond eventually. We'd love to have you on. That goes to anybody internationally or locally on Phoenix FM. Open door.
Excellent. So I think on that very positive note, be our friend. This has been Cian O'Callaghan,
Dara O'Connor,
and Kev,
and the Power Rangers. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Nerd to Know Zor 4.
Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
All right, so you're listening to the podcast. You're like, hey, I'm not in Ireland. How do I get in touch? Well, TuneIn has you covered. That's how you can check us out live when we're on the radio. You go to TuneIn and download the app, or you can check out the live streams on nerdtoknowmedia.com or Phoenix 92.5 FM. If you want to get in contact with us, it's very easy. Nerd to Know Media everywhere. Nerd to Know Media on Twitter. Nerd to Know Media Instagram. Nerd to Know Media on Twitch. Nerd to Know Media at gmail.com if you want to reach out via email. Hope to hear from you soon.
Hey, Dara, what are you doing over there in Ireland? Like with the freaking leprechauns and everything. That's not cool. You should be over here with the cosplayers. At least then you could, like, I don't know, pretend like you got, I don't know, some kind of thing going on. Yeah, you give me a Brooklyn wave. Yeah, with ya. Dara. Yeah, Dara. Why ain't you over here with Joey? Anyway, we missed you, dude. So, this is Little Karibo saying,
I love it. All I do is just believe in the...
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.